What's up, YouTube? We're back with another episode of What the Hell Am I Doing? And today, it's UFC. It's a big night. It's kind of been a weird week with the UFC, so I think it's going to make for an interesting, spicy sports betting. I wasn't going to do a Super Saturday before, but you know what? Things got weird. So we're going to do Super Saturday this week and see what happens. Because it could be wild. I don't know how this is going to go. So what basically happened? Khamzat Chimaev showed up like almost 9 pounds overweight for a fight at 170 pounds. I don't know why. That's like messed up. It seems like he didn't try. It makes no sense. I mean, a lot of people think that was pretty much an unlosable fight for him. And he showed up that much overweight. Only 5 fights into his UFC and MMA career, I think. I think it's 5. Anyways, you guys know how I feel about that. I think it's very unprofessional. I mean, everybody screws up, but 8-9 pounds is a lot. You know, that's a F ton of weight. That's almost an entire weight class. You know, he's closer to being a 185er than he is a 170er. So, you know, it's hard to respect that. His behavior and antics lately have been just really out of control. And like, even yesterday at the weigh-ins, he was giving the finger to the crowd, and he said he was from, you know, Chemaya, and he's gonna just kill everybody. Like, dude, take it easy. You know, you're not there yet. You're not Conor McGregor yet. You can't act like that. Even if you are, you shouldn't act like that. That's just douchey behavior that nobody wants to see. Yeah, I don't like the guy. I don't like this behavior. I don't like how he's behaving. He didn't look that great in his last fight, and I want him to be humbled. So he needs to be humbled. He needs to be humbled. So those are my feelings on what happened yesterday. So because of him missing weight so badly, the Diaz Chimaev fight is off. And they managed to renegotiate 3 fights at the top of the card. So the entire top 3 fights of the card are completely different now. So you now have Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. You have Khamzat Chimaev versus Kevin Holland. And you have Jingliang versus Daniel Rodriguez as the third fight that got retooled. So, you know, they're drastically different fights. It's probably a better fight card now because of these changes. I guess we'll see how it plays out tonight. It's, you know, 3:20 p.m. right now, so we only have a few hours till the prelims start. So not long till we find out. So let's get down to my picks for the fight. But before we do, make sure you guys, if you haven't yet, hit that like button for me, please. Help the channel grow. Make sure you leave a comment. Tell me your picks. Tell me what you think of what happened at the weigh-ins. And did you see what happened at the press conference? Apparently things got out of hand the day before the weigh-ins, which makes the whole fiasco of missing weight even weirder. It's not like this guy was surprised by a pound being over a pound. He knew he was over. And for those antics to happen backstage, just make this thing even weirder. But yeah, make sure you leave a comment on what you think happened. And, you know, because I'd like to see what you guys think. I'm not even sure what I make of this whole ordeal. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Over 80% of my viewers have not subscribed. So if I could convince you guys to just hit that button for me, that'd be great. All right, so let's get down to the picks. We'll start with, you know, the first of the 3 fights been retooled. Jingliang, Leech, is fighting Daniel Rodriguez. And, you know, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be an interesting fight. I think Jingliang has big balls because he's now fighting 10 pounds higher than he should have been. Because this fight was supposed to be, I think, at 180. This was supposed to be a catchweight fight originally for Daniel Rodriguez. So now Jingliang is now coming up from welterweight to fight at, I think, at 180, I believe is what this fight's going to be at. So that, you know, that's a ballsy move. He's coming up to fight a bigger guy, you know, and he took the fight. So all the respect in the world to Leech. What a fighter, what a warrior, win or lose. You got to respect him for taking that fight. You know, it's a tough fight to call. Leech has had some good opposition in the past. You know, he's proven himself against some tough fighters, and he's lost a couple of fights. I think he's lost 2 fights. I'd have to check the stats. I didn't check the stats before, but I think he's lost a couple fights. But I mean, he's a good fighter. He's got the game. I'm not sure how he's going to do against Rodriguez because of the size difference. But I think he does have what it takes to probably push him, to probably survive any barrages early in the fight, and probably find a way to tough this fight out. I don't think he's going to win by TKO or submission or anything like that. I think this fight's going to go 3 rounds. It's going to be a decision. I think just somehow Jingliang is going to find a way to be busier and better, and he's going to find a way to take this fight. He's going to just find a way to get the momentum and keep it. And I think that's how he'll win the fight. The next fight is the Khamzat Chimaev versus Kevin Holland fight. This fight is interesting because there was a little ruckus behind, backstage when they were supposed to have the press conference on Thursday, and the ruckus started with Khamzat and Kevin. So that makes it strange and interesting that now they're fighting. Khamzat apparently kicked him, and then that started a whole melee, and it ended up getting broken up, and then Diaz and 57 his people showed up, and they started throwing bottles, and the whole thing got started again, and blah, 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 so they canceled the press conference. At least this is what they're telling us. So it's strange that those two got into it, and now they're fighting. How's this fight going to go? I don't know. I mean, Kevin Holland has decent hands. Khamzat has good hands. Khamzat's probably a better wrestler and grappler. Well, he's definitely a better wrestler and grappler. So, I mean, if he wants to control the fight, he's probably going to be able to do it at will, because I don't think Kevin Holland has much takedown defense, and he certainly wasn't training for that kind of a fight coming into this. So that's a glaring problem to me. I think he does have the hands, and he does have the gas tank. If the longer this fight goes, he has a better chance. But my concern is he did not train for wrestling at all. And now wrestling is going to be probably used fully against him to control him and beat him. As much as I want to see Khamzat lose, because I don't like his behavior lately, I don't like the way he's acting. I think dude needs to be humbled big time. I just don't think. Kevin Holland's going to give it his best shot. He's going to try to do it. I just don't think he's going to have what it takes to do it. But I'll happily be wrong. And then so I'm picking Khamzat to win the fight, unfortunately. But if he's wrong, I'll be happy. And then the last fight that I'm picking is the new main event, which is Nate Diazvist versus Tony Ferguson. This is actually a way better fight for Nate Diaz. Tony Ferguson is a stand-up guy. Nate Diaz likes to stand up. So this fight's, not going to be a ground battle. He's not going to have to worry so much about wrestling. This is going to be a weird fight because both these guys like to fight, aggressively. They both have good cardio. So you're going to see them pushing each other, I think. The main difference maybe in this fight is if Tony Ferguson can take advantage of leg kicks to take out Nate Diaz's legs. We know that Nate doesn't really have the urgency to block leg kicks for whatever reason. So he'll let his legs get chewed up. So if Tony can use leg kicks to his advantage, that could put him in a position to win the fight. However, I think that Tony's really been beat up the last few fights, and this is really soon after a bad knockout. I'm not sure it's such a good time for him to fight, and now he's fighting a guy like Nate Diaz, which is going to just keep coming forward, keep hitting him, keep pushing. And no matter if you have a good gas tank or not, if a guy's constantly coming at you, it's hard to get set and get off yourself. So I think that Nate Diaz is going to push hard, and I think he's going to give him a hard time. So for that reason alone, I think that Diaz will find a way to TKO Tony Ferguson, who's been knocked out a lot lately, unfortunately. That's what I think is going to happen. So the reason why I haven't mentioned what I'm going to bet yet is because I have a special surprise for you guys. The surprise is that this week we're going to do the betting a little bit differently. We're going to do the Flaming Hot Challenge again. But this time the Flaming Hot Challenge is going to depend on how many fights I lose. So if I lose any fights, I'm going to do a challenge, or any of my bets If I lose any of my bets, I'm going to do the Flaming Hot Challenge, which will be this plus a teaspoon of Champ's Power Flakes. So if I'm wrong about Jingliang beating Rodriguez, I'll be getting the hot challenge, the Flaming Hot Challenge, right away with 1 teaspoon of Champ's Power Flakes. If Khamzat doesn't win, it'll become 2 teaspoons. See what's going on here? And if Diaz doesn't win, it'll be 3 teaspoons all in one box. So I'm going to basically bet a teaspoon on every fight. So there's going to be the possibility of seeing me just do one of these, all the way up to doing one of these with 3 teaspoons of Champs Power Flakes. So that will be, that will really suck. So this will get more punishing the more fights I lose. So, you know, I figured that'd be fun. People did enjoy the last Flaming Hot Challenge I did when I put Champs Power Flakes in it. So I figured this time I'd up the ante a bit, do it on a Super Saturday, and the worse I do on the picks, the worse the Flaming Hot Challenge will be. What do you guys think of that? Tell me in the comments if you like that idea, and if I should do that again in another Super Saturday, or you know, part of some kind of betting Super Sports Bet night one night. All right, well, that's all we're going to do for this. You now understand how I'm doing the bet for this week, and you now know my picks. So it's time to get this edited and get it uploaded and get ready to watch a great UFC. And hopefully I don't have to do this crap next week, because next week, if there are no bets, or maybe even if there are, maybe I'll do an extra video during the week following my Explore. But if there are no bets, next week I'm going to be showing you some new sauce. Actually, this one isn't new, but this one is. This is the newest batch of Scorpion Knuckles hot sauce. This is the 2022 version. This one's actually going to be a little bit hotter because there's more peppers in this batch than last year's. So this is the new batch, which will be available for sale in a week. And this sauce here is my latest creation. I haven't even tried this one. So depending on how things go, if I don't have to do punishment next week, we're going to taste this sauce. This is my newest sauce. This is Champ sauce. This is the Contender hot sauce. And this sauce is a habanero-based sauce for regular people. That's right. Normal people like you guys can now eat like the Champ, sort of, and eat Champ sauce, which will be hot. It just won't kill you. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to trying this. I have not tried this recipe at all. Obviously, I know how the base of the recipe tastes, but I don't know how it's going to taste with the habaneros in it. And this sauce right now has 60 habaneros in a batch, so it's a pretty potent batch of habanero sauce. So I think it should have some pretty good kick and some pretty strong habanero flavor. So depending how things go with the fights tonight, maybe I'll do this next week, or maybe I'll do it sometime midweek, or maybe the week after. We'll see what's on the schedule, and depending on that, it'll come out then. But as soon as I taste this, it'll be available for sale too. So if you're interested, stay tuned. All right, well, that's all the time we got for this week. It's time to get this edited and uploaded. Please like the video. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Check out the video here, which was the Explorer from last week. I believe it was the moldy 70s house. And check out this random video here. And we'll see you in the next video tomorrow night, which is the Explore video, 8 p.m. premiering. Thanks for tuning in.